I was going through a bit of a reading slump, so I asked my family to recommend me their favorite books. Hello, welcome back to the channel. If you've been here before, I'm so glad to see you again. If you haven't been here before, my name is Cameron. I make videos about reading and books and readers and a bunch of stuff like that. As I explained before the little intro clip, I have been what feels like struggling through a reading slump forever. So I thought I was just having trouble motivating myself and finding books that I really enjoyed reading. So I asked my family, that being my two sisters, Kate and Ellie, and my mom and dad, to recommend me some books. I read Twilight by Stephanie Meyer. I read Love is the Killer App by Tim Sanders. I read I Am Malala by Malala Yousafzai. And I finally read Tomorrow and Tomorrow and Tomorrow by Gabrielle Zevin. So I recorded a little bit of a reading vlog for you, so you'll get to see that in a minute. And then once we are done with the reading vlog, I will tell you some of my thoughts on each of these books, because I don't really go into detail about them in the reading vlogs. I don't know. But anyway, here's the reading vlog. So today is day one of reading the books that my family gives to me. So here's the trick. I waited a little too long for this, which happens, but I'm hoping to get this video out on like August 10th, and today's August 1st. So the current goal is to get 4 books done, but we are starting on number 1, and this one's a doozy. My sister recommended it to me because she just listened to the audiobooks, and that is Twilight. My older sister Kate recommended that one to me. And the funny enough, I didn't get started on it until 8 p.m. I guess is the time right now. I didn't get started on it until now because she actually invited me and my other sister over to watch Breaking Dawn Part 2. I swear Twilight is not her entire personality. She's just been in a Twilight mood recently, I suppose. I am going to try and read as much of Twilight, the first book, as I can. If I have an enjoyable time reading it, even if it's like enjoyable as in like I love to hate it or I genuinely have a good time reading it, if that happens, I might do a reading vlog of the other 4 books. So let me know if you want to see that and I'll do it. Anyway, I'm gonna get started on reading. Hi, good morning. It's the 2nd. I made it through about a quarter of Twilight and I'm having a grand time. I'm enjoying it. I actually am really genuinely like not having a bad time. Granted, I am a quarter of the way through the first book of a multi-book series, so I know it can get worse. I'm very aware of that, so I'm trying not to make any assumptions before anything, but like I'm having an okay time reading this. I mean, you're talking to the person who read all 8 Bridgerton books and enjoyed the series. I a lot of times find myself not liking books that are critically acclaimed more than not liking popular books that get hated on a lot. And I don't know if it's just me or whatever, but regardless, all that to say, I am gonna try and read as much of this book as I can today. I have D&D tonight, so I'm not gonna be able to read for like all evening, but I'm gonna hopefully get most of the book done. Hopefully. We'll see though. Hi gang. So we're out here reading outside. It is day 3. I just finished Twilight. A little cringe. The pacing of that book is just very sporadic. It's like you literally get through 80-85% of the book and it's very much like, oh, this is a very slow paced love story. And you would know this if you've ever seen the movie. Stuff hits the fan very quickly. Like Bella and Edward get together one day and declare their love for each other, by the way, on that very same day. The next day, she meets his entire family and he also meets Charlie, her dad, and they go the infamous baseball scene, the baseball scene that we love and adore from the movies. That happens. And then these other vampires show up. Like, one of them straight up is like, oh, you're getting hunted now. So the last like 15% of the book is just straight up her like trying to get away from this vampire that's hunting her, and the Cullens like helping her do it. It goes crazy. There's obviously several other books, so she's fine. But yeah, once we got to like after they got together, it did start to get a little annoying because it was just constant like, I've known you for 3 days and I'm already in love with you and I'm also 16 years old kind of behavior. So maybe it was just cringe in the way that, yeah, this is how teenagers literally behave. I will probably actually read the other books though, because I didn't not have a fun time reading it. But yeah, day 3, finished Twilight, which was my older sister Kate's pick. So now we are moving on to one of my dad's picks. One of the books that he gave me is Love is the Killer App by Tim Sanders. And he is a big self-help guy, my dad. My dad likes reading business books and self-help books, and that is not a genre I typically read, but I did say to my family, like, give me whatever book you want me to read. Whatever. Like, it does not matter genre, it does not matter anything. I will read it. It's not very long, it's only about 200 pages, so I think I will be able to finish it pretty quickly, but it's How to Win Business and Influence Friends. So, I will let you know how that goes when I talk to you later. It's day 4. I finished The Killer App, which was pretty good. I enjoyed doing it. So, that's good. We've got 2 of the 4 that I'm definitely doing finished. The next one that I think I'm going to read is my mom's pick, which is I Am Malala, which I've never read before. I obviously know the story of her and like how she got shot in the head because she wanted to go get educated in a place where she was not allowed to get educated. So I am aware of her. I've actually never read the story. So that is going to be the next one I read. So I will give you all an update whenever I finish that. Hello, good morning everyone. It is, I think, day 5. I got started on I Am Malala last night. It's very good. I think I've read about 75 pages of it, so we're kind of in the point where she's describing like who her family is and stuff like that, and I really like it. She has got a great voice. I'm enthusiastic to see more of what the book is about, because the prologue to the book is straight up about her getting shot in the head. She kind of like tells that story very briefly and then loops back around to, okay, now here's my background. So she gives a lot of historical context and like who her father is and stuff like that. So I got through a lot of that and that's been very good. So I am gonna try and finish this today. And then I also am probably going to try running to the bookstore today to get Ellie's recommendation. Ellie, who I believe will be editing this video, because she recommended a book that neither she nor I have read, and it's totally not available at my library. Anyway, yeah, I'm gonna try and get this done today, and then I will talk to you all tomorrow. Hi everyone, it is day 6. I finished I Am Malala today. Very, very good. If you haven't read it, definitely check that one out. That was a 5-star pretty quickly. Malala is an excellent writer, so she's very easy to read, super intelligent. Like, a lot of it is just about her life before getting shot, which I don't think is a spoiler. I think she's a famous enough person at this point in time that you basically know her story. But yeah, it was very good. I really enjoyed it. So now we have gotten to my little sister's recommendation. This is the only one that the person who recommended it to me has not read it before. But Ellie recommended I read Tomorrow and Tomorrow and Tomorrow by Gabrielle Zevin. And I don't know how I've managed to avoid this book. I think it was just a case of every time I'd go into the bookstore, I was always more interested in other things. But when I was looking over the New York Times Best 100 Books of the Century, I was shocked to see that this was on the list. So it actually ended up working out that Ellie recommended it to me, even though she made me go out and buy this book because it was not available at my library. Anyway, but yeah, so I'm gonna go ahead and get started on that, and I will give you an update tomorrow. Hi, okay, so really quick day 7 update because the kids are asleep. I have gotten to about page 120 of Tomorrow and Tomorrow and Tomorrow, and it is very good. I didn't get as much reading done today as I would have liked, but you know, there's always tomorrow, and we can do it tomorrow, so I will update you then. Okay, so, day 8. Guess what I just finished? Woo! I shed a tear or two, but at the same time, I also don't really understand the hype. I'll go into that more in probably the closing of the video, but regardless, the books are finished. And here is outro Cameron to tell you a little more about them. So the first book I finished was Twilight by Stephanie Meyer. My older sister Kate recommended this one to me because she just got finished listening to all of the audiobooks. So she was like, hey, this is the most recent thing I've read. I know we all enjoy the movies. But yeah, she was just like, it's just a fun little book to read. And I agree with her. I actually enjoyed Twilight a lot more than I think I thought I would. I think the annoying parts get more annoying as the books go on. But I didn't really find myself being annoyed with the characters all that much. I thought the plot was actually interesting, even though I was pretty familiar with it. Yeah, so for Twilight, is this gonna take down my reader credibility? I have several thoughts between this and my other sister's recommendation that might take away my cred as a reader. But anyway, I rated the first Twilight book 3.5 stars. So if you all want me to read the other ones in a bit of a reading vlog, please let me know, and I would be happy to do that if you guys are interested in seeing that. The other book I read was the recommendation by my father, which is Love is the Killer App by Tim Sanders. My dad is a very business-oriented, self-betterment kind of guy. So when I asked him for a recommendation, I knew that's what he was gonna recommend. It's not my personal favorite genre, but it was interesting to learn. Love is the Killer App is all about being a approachable, loving person in the business environment, in a work environment, and honestly any environment. So yeah, I had a lot of fun reading that. I think it was as good as a book of that type can be to someone who doesn't like reading self-help books. But I did think it was interesting. I did enjoy it. So I gave it 3 stars because at the end of the day, I was able to read it in like an hour and a half. So a nice, quick, easy read if you are interested in betterment. That's the book for you. My mom's recommendation, which was the next one I read, was I Am Malala by Malala Yousafzai. If you are unfamiliar with the story of Malala, she is the youngest Nobel Peace Prize winner ever. And she was raised in Pakistan, and during a time when the Taliban was really taking over and restricting women's rights, and she felt really, really passionate about going to school and wanted to continue education for herself and girls around the world, and she actually was shot in the face for that, which is crazy. She survived, and she wrote this book after she survived that incident, so it's a lot about her background and her growing up and the events leading up to her attack, her getting shot in the face. I thought this was so interesting. I also think it is a much needed perspective on countries that are affected by the Taliban, because I feel like a lot of times speaking as an American, maybe I should say that, speaking as an American, the people in the Middle East, particularly countries like Pakistan, are a lot of times villainized, and that's not the case with them at all. So if you guys have any other like non-fiction literature written by authors from the Middle East or detailing experiences in the Middle East that preferably aren't from an American perspective, please comment that down below, because I would genuinely be really, really interested to see that. But yeah, she is an incredible writer. I ate this book up. I don't know if I really indicated that in the reading vlog, to be honest. I haven't watched the footage back yet. So, but if you're looking for a really interesting biography, nonfiction, Malala is one for you. I believe I gave Malala 5 stars. I just thought the book was great. So, if you've ever taken one of my recommendations before, this is another one I promise you can take the recommendation of. And then the final book that was recommended to me was recommended by my little sister Ellie, who has actually a friend of the channel. She's actually edited a few of my videos before, including parts of this one, so comment down below. Thank you, Ellie. But she actually recommended a book that she has never read because she wanted me to read it and my opinion on it. So she recommended Tomorrow and Tomorrow and Tomorrow by Gabrielle Zevin, which I mentioned in a video a few weeks ago actually made it onto the New York Times Best 100 Books of the Century so far that came out. Both of the list, actually, the publishing professionals, like authors and stuff like that list, and the readers list. So I knew I wanted to read an additional one from that list. So Ellie actually gave me a really good opportunity to do so. This book is pretty good. It's a literary fiction about 2 best friends and them starting a business together and creating video games and a bunch of stuff like that. I thought it was pretty good. This is the other scandalous opinion that might make people upset with me. I think it might be overrated. I think Gabrielle Zevin is a great author. I think she's really good. I think her characters are all very good. But at the end of the day, for me, for a literary fiction enjoyer, it doesn't necessarily stand out. I still thought it was very good. And you know what? I might reread it in a year because I would definitely be interested in rereading it after my mind has marinated on it a little bit. But I don't know. The plot did exactly kind of what I thought it was going to do, and I won't elaborate on that a little bit more. And the timeline also felt condensed. Like and granted, this book takes place in the 90s, so maybe I truly just don't know. But they finished like a 16 level video game with high definition graphics with just 2 people in 6 months. That timeline doesn't, now I don't know anything about this. Maybe the timeline is just messing with me, but I don't love that timeline. I don't know. I did still enjoy the book. I did still give it 4 stars. So please do not hear my criticisms like as a message to you, like you shouldn't read this book, because a lot of people love this book. I just think I've read too many literary fictions that are very similar to it. And that's just my opinion. I am not here to tell you what to think. I am here, if you're interested in learning more, I will happily tell you more and stuff like that. So, but yeah, I've told my family all of my thoughts on all of these, so they already know. Them watching this video is not gonna be new news to them or anything like that. But yeah, so those are the 4 books that I completed. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you've read one of these books before, please comment down below and let me know what you think about them. Let me know your personal thoughts about them, because I love to hear your guys' opinions. One of my favorite parts of making videos is responding to comments. So yeah, if you enjoyed the video, go ahead and give it a like. If you have seen multiple of my videos at this point and you are liking what you're seeing and you still haven't subscribed, it would be really nice if you would subscribe. Yeah, so that is what I got for you today. New shorts, 5 days a week. A new longer form video like this one every Sunday. And I think that is all I have for you today. So go get a book recommendation from a family member. Go read a new biography of someone you really don't know a lot about. And of course, go visit your local library. I will see you all later. Goodbye!